Hey, CK here. This video is intended for children ages 14 and older in the company of an adult. It contains intense ideas including slavery, animal cruelty, and captivity. Viewer discretion is advised.
Can I have my pillow back? Oh, I'm so sorry. Someone just gave this to me last night.
Oh, no, it's totally fine. I just want to take a nap, and it's sort of like a security blanket for me, you know?
Yeah, I totally get it. I'm sorry again.
Don't even worry about it. Me pillow, Sue pillow, or something. Her name's Meredith.
Oh, the pillow. You named your pillow.
Uh-huh. The things that matter to you should always have names.
When looking at the idea of somebody having a quote-unquote pet, you might put clothes on the pet. You might give the pet a name, maybe even a last name. Your last name you may give to the pet. You may walk it, feed it, give it like a little house or a bed to sleep on in a corner, maybe even let it sleep in the bed with you. We're doing all these things that's kind of like humanizing this pet, even giving a name, because what's important to you, you give it a name. Understand that this is an animal that is not allowed to leave, is in captivity, and from the point of view of the animal may just accept its enslavement. Sometimes the animal may be forced to go hunt other animals, forced to go for walks, for exercise, and forced to eat food that you want it to eat, not that it wants to eat. Even though we give these animals names and call them pets, they're slaves. They're nothing more than domesticated animals that some would believe should be in the wild and allowed to live their life how they see fit. This is not a broadcast or anything for PETA or for animal rights. It's just understanding that the way that we view things is from a human standpoint, not viewing it from the standpoint of the animal. You can't communicate with the animal can't communicate with you. You can train the animal to do stuff on certain commands with operant conditioning. When the animal does something you want it to do, you give it a treat. If the animal does something you don't want it to do, you punish it, equivalent to like in Fromville, where them building the radio tower, Tabitha digging in the house, and other things that the Fromville has a way of punishing people for doing things that the place does not want them to do and rewards them for doing what the place wants them to do.
4 inches.
What?
The trees, they move 4 inches.
Is that good or bad?
They're close, so it's bad.
Should we tell somebody?
Oh, I don't think they'll understand. It's been so long since he went away. I started to think it was just a dream. The first time I saw him was right before the 2 cars came. Not your 2 cars, the first 2 cars.
When was that?
Oh, it's been a while. I wasn't much older than you when they came.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
You've been here a pretty long time, huh?
I've been here the longest. For a long time, there was nobody else here but me.
What's the matter?
Look, there he is.
We see the boy in white is just like wandering in the forest. No purpose, no plan, just wandering. And that's kind of like what shepherds do. They just tend to wander, especially when all the sheep are at the farm and they're not going to be taken outside of the farm to go graze. The shepherd is just chilling. So the boy in white, I believe his domain is the forest. While the sheep are all at the farm, the shepherd is walking around looking for different predators to scare them away from the farm. The boy in white, which is the shepherd, the German shepherds that are like tending dogs, interacting with people and getting them back to the farm.
Ethan! Ethan! Ethan!
One of the German shepherds, and I believe it's a German shepherd. Let me know in the comment section if you're like, no, it's a different breed, it's a different type of dog. The tending dog acting as a living fence, and they believe that Tabitha and Jim are wandering too far, and they're telling them to go back. They're acting as a living fence. That's why they appear to be hostile to both Tabitha and Jim.
Jim.
They're not going to attack, and they're not advancing forward. They're acting as a living fence, preventing Tabitha and Jim from going further, meaning that beyond the quote-unquote living fence was more than likely a predator that they're trying to keep the sheep or the people of Fromville from interacting with. They weren't expecting that. Neither was I the first time I watched it. This dude got a whole pow-pow. Everybody's laid out. Everybody has been slaughtered, picked over, and the boy in white, I believe he's looking angry because his flock has just been unalived by something or some things. While the boy in white looks upset, notice his right hand appears to be balled up in a fist, and his other hand appears to have been in a fist, but maybe unfisted. This is somewhat a soldier stance when the soldier is like at the position of attention, where the hands are clasped onto the trousers. This position is more like getting ready to march forward, but the flock is gone. However, he's looking and he sees a sheep in the distance. It's almost like he's annoyed that Victor is alive. I believe that the reason why everybody was in the streets was because everybody was supposed to be unalived by whatever ceremony that was going on or whatever they were doing, and Victor being alive was not a part of the plan. They're like at a standstill. This German Shepherd is creating a living fence. And now the boy in white is walking away instead of going to engage Victor directly. And the way the boy in white is walking slowly, to me, this is like a sign that the boy in white has failed, and it's almost like he's moping. The German Shepherd is going with the shepherd. The German Shepherd first ran forward and then ran toward the left. So the shepherd is following the German Shepherd. I believe the German Shepherd had the scent of whatever had actually done all this, and they were pursuing it. The shepherd has gone to this merry-go-round and has stopped, but you don't see the German Shepherd anywhere. And I believe the reason why the shepherd is no longer going with the German Shepherd, because there's a portal on the merry-go-round, and the boy in white is wanting to take Victor away from the town area. And now the shepherd is smiling. The boy in white is telling Victor to go on to this merry-go-round with him. Because it's a portal, the boy in white knows where portals are that are outside of faraway trees, like the one that was on top of the lighthouse. He's saying, "Follow me." So I believe that if Victor would have got on the merry-go-round and would have went around in a circle as well, Victor would have went into a portal and followed the boy in white. And the boy in white would have taken him somewhere else, maybe even the lighthouse, and possibly pushed him off into the real world. Victor never got on the merry-go-round because he was confused. Even though the boy in white is like, "Come here," giving him the signal, Victor stayed looking confused and missed his opportunity to follow the boy in white, to possibly exit Fromville or become another boy in white like him. Even now, Victor, like 50, and he still is confused. Still not understanding what was going on. I mean, it's understandable. He's a kid. But even now, in the present day, he's confused and understanding what's going on. And he grew up there. Wherever the boy in white went, he just wasn't going to come back until more sheep entered Fromville. That's the reason why Victor was alone with all of the predators. Yep, he should have got on. You should have got on, buddy. Victor being scared and not wanting to try stuff, not wanting to experiment, not wanting to be adventurous, that's what caused him to grow up in Fromville by trying to be safe. Victor did this to himself. And even now, as a 50-year-old man, he's somewhat accepting wanting to be safe, forever be a shell of a person.
You're freaking people out.
I was just trying to get a head start this time.
When it comes to domestication, it's easier to domesticate an animal when you enter it into captivity as a human equivalent child, age 1 to 12 years old, as opposed to an adult. So because Victor grew up in Fromville, he's adapted and he now is like a domesticated pet. Whereas everybody else, they're like wild animals that are slowly having to be conditioned for the farm through operant conditioning, or rewarding them for positive behavior and punishing them for negative behavior. So the dog, the cat, the fish, turtle, whatever kind of pet you have or animal you have as a pet, if you got them as a baby and they're with you when they become adults, basically you have a Victor. Victor doesn't want to leave. Victor doesn't want to make the place upset. Victor doesn't want to experiment. He doesn't want to go for adventure. He doesn't want to talk to everybody else who are quote unquote wild animals. He is a domesticated house cat. All he wants to do is lay around, and he is going along to get along. He does not know that he's a slave. Let me know in the comment section your thoughts. Thumbs up the video, share to your social media, subscribe. Thanks for watching.
The future's not ours to see. Que sera, sera.